Hey everyone, welcome to High School Dropouts Advice. If you need subtitles, click on the subtitle button right here. If you want to join my Discord channel, you can do this through Patreon, which I link down below in the description. If you want to buy stocks and need a brokerage account, or you want a second brokerage account, I can recommend you Webull. You can also use Webull to trade cryptocurrencies like Dogecoin, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. You will also get 4 free stocks up to $1,850 per stock when you deposit at least $100. I think the lowest amount I got from the free stock was $8 per stock. So that would get you at least around $32. I will also get 2 stocks, which will help me to pay for the video editors. You can find the link down below in the description. Now we are continuing the analyzing part of the Ehang presentation with Morgan Stanley.
The investor wants to know how about the type certification of Ehang UAV in China. So could you provide more details about the certificate, the permits in terms of the type and also the timetable? Thank you.
The same question again. And I think Edward is not well prepared to answer this kind of question regarding certification. Look at his answer and tell me how confident it seems for you as a potential investor.
So far, we are quite optimistic, I should say, because starting from the end of last year, we have officially submitted our application for a type certificate to the CAC government, and the CAC officials issued acknowledgement of the receipt.
An acknowledgement of receipt and have submitted an application doesn't sound so convincing. He could say, "We are the first mover in this industry. We started our application last year and we are working closely with the CAAC to fulfill all their requirements, and we are setting the highest safety standard with the CAAC where future developments are measured by."
They have set up a national expert team with about 22 national experts. And so CAC now has, they started the whole process, and we had already 2 rounds of meetings already. And so far, the progress is quite good, because one mutual understanding is that this is very innovative, without any precedent. So the attitude is that we should not take the old stereotype type of thing, to look at this. We should look forward, and we should, be innovative. Innovative not only for our product, but also innovative in the way of certification.
It's a little lengthy, and we can see that it was a disadvantage of using someone whose first language is not English. Don't get me wrong, he is doing an okay job, but I wish to have someone who would have smashed this question and present utmost confidence. He said that the progress is good and 22 experts are checking. He should have said there are no set regulations and safety standards for eVTOL in the world yet. China is the first country setting up a team of 22 experts of the aerospace industry to work with Ehang to set up a system, regulations, and safety standards which can be implemented into our current infrastructure and modernize our way of traveling. The CAAC and Ehang share the same passion for innovation. They are working together closely towards the aim of getting Ehang certified to offer the next generation of transportation. I would have wished for an answer in this direction. He has to make sure that the certification process is not an Ehang versus CAAC or versus FAA situation, but this is a cooperation between the CAAC and in the future the FAA with Ehang. Let's see how it continues.
So this is repeated by the leader of the CAAC certification team, and just tomorrow we are going to have another delegation from the CAAC. So I think so far the certification process is going on and has going on very well, but we cannot tell what exact time we can get the final approval. But so far, I think the progress is a bit is better than our expectation, and so our target is to get the final approval by next year. But I do not exclude the possibility of any earlier approval. So that's all I can say. Thank you.
He really tries to show confidence, but is too humble to show real confidence. I totally understand this problem. Chinese and in general Asian companies see being humble as noble and strong. But they need to understand that Western investors and companies want to see confidence. An American company would just say in this case, we are working hard with the CAAC to get approved at the latest by next year, but we are trying everything to get approved earlier without neglecting the safety for our passengers. It would be the same message, but it would have another feel for investors. Let's continue.
Because the investors that noticed Ehang actually changed the business model, I guess from the direct sales of the AAV to more like the AAV fleet operation. So what's the background of this kind of business model changes and what could be the impact to the financials probably to 2021 and 2022? Thank you.
Let us see how he answered this question. We know by now that Ehang does not want to be a simple passenger drone maker.
So here I want to clarify our strategy. So this is not a changing strategy because I don't know whether the investors are aware of in our prospectus, from the IPO, our target is to build ourselves into a UAM platform company, a platform operator. So to put it simply, our target is to become a flying Uber or flying Didi or something like that.
This was well answered. He pushed back and said Ehang did not change and they want to become a flying Uber. This was an okay answer, but instead of using platform, I think he should use infrastructure, which would describe the situation better. This is just my humble opinion. But let us continue and see how he keeps trying to answer this question.
Right. So to operate as a platform operator, this is our original goal. And but previously, our target, our business model was very simple by selling the equipment itself and get the money back, right? So that's the early stage, but we with a very limited operation by ourselves. So moving into this year, we are going to transition from a simple, sales model into more operational model. So the reason behind this is very simple because first, we see the time is the right time because we have achieved a very positive progress in the certification with the CAAC officials. And the CAAC's guidance is that they encourage us to do more trial operation, right? So they are very tolerant and they think that it is okay for us to try some operation. And second, it is very important for us to accumulate data.
He should emphasize that Ehang's vision is just bigger than being a drone maker. He should say something like, we have planned not just being a drone maker, because if we put the passenger drone on the market, there's no software and no technology on the market which manage the drones. We are not just a hardware company, but we will provide a whole infrastructure for businesses with our command and control center, which manage the autonomous transportation for our clients for a small fee, which is a big leap for the industry. We know our industry the best and have built the software behind it to operate it soon. We don't want to risk having a third party manage and develop software and manage the infrastructure when they are unfamiliar with our hardware. I think he should have said something in this direction. Anyways, let's continue.
I can see that obviously in the short term, our financial, especially our sales, may fall short of expectation, because since you operate and you get paid by the operation, and which is a little more sustainable, more recurrent revenue, but it's a less lump sum. If you sell the equipment, you get the one-off payment more quickly, right? But we understand that the value of platform is much greater than a simple OEM model.
No one asks about the near-term financial outlook, but Edward answered it. It's good to be transparent, I don't mind it. That he talked about the near-term financial outlook when the original question was why Ehang had changed their business model. But I feel it was not needed, because the original question was so different, and the way he describes it is not something investors want to hear. I would have preferred an answer in the sort of Ehang has bigger visions and wants to build a sustainable, long-term business model that strives under the expansion of unmanned transportation. Morgan Stanley, your company, did research that forecasts 1.5 trillion by 2040 for unmanned vehicles. We, Ehang, don't want just to build the passenger drones, but also want to be a service provider for the companies and governments to provide an easy and quick to adapt infrastructure. We can play two roles, and we don't need to wait for Uber to develop after 100 years of automobile history, when we can build the Uber business model alongside the UAM industry. For investors and early adopters of our technology, it will be beneficial that we can provide the software alongside the hardware. I think that early adopters don't know how to manage a drone fleet, but through the countless tests Ehang did, we are familiar with this role and we are ready to take over this burden for our customers. Furthermore, we know that Uber and other tech companies are evaluated higher through a recurring and sustainable business model. We know from history that renting physical products like DVDs is getting obsolete, but Netflix as a tech company and recurring business model with repeating income is the way to go. Overall, I think Edward just did an average job here. I hope he understands and learns from this experience. He has to prepare for this kind of question and needs to smash those questions. Each question of a potential investor is doubt. And when he cannot eliminate the doubt with the first sentence, investors are hesitating. Have a look at the last question of Morgan Stanley analyst.
On the technical specifications, you touched upon this in your presentation, but what about the noise level of the Ehang 216? How is this compared to a normal helicopter?
This question shows again how new or maybe unfocused this analyst is. The slideshow has shown the noise level compared to helicopters, and it was verbally addressed earlier. I don't know if I'm too harsh to this analyst, but I think he did not really listen to the presentation or did not look at the slideshow, but I cannot blame him. If you watch the full interview, you notice that someone else was managing the slideshow who could not speak and understand English, and Edward need to tell him or her how he wants the slideshow, which resulted in a couple of times for confusion.
If I remember correctly, for the normal helicopter, the noise level is about over 120 dB. But for Ehang, our noise level normally at 70 to 80 dB level. So much better than the helicopters.
He should just say is way below a regular helicopter, which will be a better use case for flying over an urban area.
We are always, pursuing the innovation and the new models. And so because we started from the two-seater, which is simpler and is actually very good for, as I said, for the intra-city transportation. People only need two passengers, ride simultaneously. But definitely we are going to launch AAVs that cover longer range and with a bigger, higher capacity that have more seats. It's on the way.
For all Ehang fans, this is good to know that they are building and designing a four-seater. So overall, I can say Edward, the CSO, did an average job. I wish he would be better prepared, or we just need a media spokesperson who is a smooth talker. Being transparent is fine, honesty is the most important, but being confident, being good at sharing a vision and how to get people excited about a product needs someone who is used to be in the media. I really hope Edward is getting better or they hire a pro for this position. Don't get me wrong, I'm a long-term bull investor in Ehang, but I'm honest and I need to see improvement in their presentation, starting with whoever did the Medicore slides. Anyways, for legal reasons, let me tell you that I'm not a financial advisor, CPA or realtor, so always consult with an expert. I'm just a guy on YouTube. Please remember to do your own due diligence. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel, and thank you so much and see you hopefully in the next video. Thank you, bye!